Hey guys, I'm Dr. Tobisch with Whitefish Chiropractic. In these next few videos, I'm going to be talking about the early stages of rehab to rebuild and restore resilience in the low back. Now, we can't really use a one-size-fits-all approach here, and oftentimes this can be kind of a complex process. People have very different levels of severity with their low back issues. Someone on one end of the spectrum maybe just feels constant stiffness and tension in their lower back. They've had massage therapy, they've done tons of stretching, and that hasn't really produced the result that they're looking for. This is basically the body telling us that tension is there for a reason, and we need to do some other things if we want to change that. Somebody on the other end of the spectrum has maybe had some really significant low back injuries. Now every couple months they bend over to pick something up and they blow their back out again. So they walk around like robots, afraid to move their spine because they never know when it's going to happen again. So different levels of severity. Some people are more acute, others are more chronic, and they've been dealing with their problems for years. So I can't just give you 3 simple exercises and promise you that it's going to fix everything. But the human body is so adaptable. If we're doing the right things and we're sticking with it, playing the long game, everybody's situation can be improved. So 3 of the principles that we're going to talk about in these videos. 1, we're going to work on improving mobility and desensitizing the irritated low back. 2, we're going to work on improving core stability. And then finally, 3, we're going to work on improving strength and resilience through greater ranges of motion. In this first video, we're going to look at improving mobility and desensitizing the irritated low back. We need our joints to be able to move more freely. We need our tissues to be able to move through greater ranges of motion. So if we can start exposing the lower back to greater ranges of motion in low threshold positions where we're not really stressing our low back, we're basically showing our nervous system that these positions, these movements and ranges of motion are safe and okay. So let's look at some ways that we can do that. One of the first things that we can do to start improving mobility and kind of desensitizing the irritated lower back is some soft tissue smashing. I like using a lacrosse ball. You can also use a foam roller if you prefer that. Either way, we're gonna have you lay down on your back. You can take that lacrosse ball, kind of find those tight tender spots in the lower back alongside the spine. Initially, you can find them and just kind of sink in, breathe deep into your belly, give yourself some time and start to feel the tissue start to relax and release. After that, you can move around, find the next spot, you can switch sides. I'd say work through those big muscles on both sides of the spine. Give yourself 5 minutes or so. After that, we can start to work some mobility into the spine. So we could go into a position where we're going between a child's pose position, getting some flexion and rounding in the back, transitioning into more of a lumbar press up or extension movement. I kind of love this combination. So we could have you here, kind of rounding the low back, feeling a little stretch. Again, you can breathe deep into the back. Then from here, we might transition forward to where we're in this position, and we gradually let the hips fall. You can give it a little bit of a wiggle here, kind of working more extension into the segments in the lower back. Then again, we can rock back into this child's pose position. We may add some side bending. So if you really wanted to stretch out the left side of your back, you may reach your hands off to the right, push your torso that way, feel a big stretch. Again, give yourself 2 or 3 big breaths into the belly. You could do the other side. We could start to add in some rotation where we're in this quadruped position. Reach through until you're feeling some tension. 2 or 3 big breaths into the belly. Then you could go the other way. So you can play around with rotation, with side bending, with this straight back flexion position in child's pose. Then keep coming back to extension here. Again, let the hips fall, kind of wiggle, work more extension into the lower back. I wouldn't really do a certain number of sets or reps. Again, I just give yourself 4 or 5 minutes to kind of work motion into the lower back.